right. Are you guys ready for our last match of the day? We're ending it with a TVZ, our last Terran in the tournament, but he does happen to be the best in the universe, so it's gonna help him. Please put your hands together for LG IEM MVP. And his opponent, another Zerg, Rock's Kiss, sLivko. Are you guys ready? Good luck, have fun. Take it away, Tastosis.
Esports, this tournament's so sick.
Oh, I like that, Tasteless. Yeah, it is, though.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
It's true. They're going to be joining the game shortly, and then we'll try to get this going as soon as possible. I think we're a little bit behind schedule here. You were really tickled by that, huh?
That was funny.
He didn't know I was going to do that.
No,
He thought I was going to open up normally. We just saw the coolest game. One of the coolest games I've ever seen.
That best of 5 was just one of the best ever. Like, Vortex likes to look dead. He's like a possum, right?
He's a possum.
You go over, you're like, oh, this thing's dead. But unlike a possum, then he gets up and kills you.
It's a zombie possum.
Zombie possum.
Those are the most dangerous kind of possums.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I read a book about it. So we are still waiting for our Zerg player to join the game.
Yeah.
Looks like MVP is ready to go. So are we going to have a bunch of Zergs, or is MVP going to move through this? What do you think?
Look, sLivko is actually, I keep saying it, he's a great Zerg. He's a great Zerg player. He's very tough. I could see him taking it, but I have to give MVP the leg up on this one. I think that he will move on, and he will probably become the next victim of, of Vortex.
Well, you know, this is one of these moments where the Korean Terrans just aren't looking scary today. Which I would say statistically and historically, Korean Terrans are probably the scariest amongst the Koreans. Yeah. They got some scary Protosses, they got some scary Zergs, but overwhelmingly, it's the Korean Terrans.
Terrans just play on a different level than all the Terrans outside of Korea.
Yeah. They're on a completely other level.
Yeah.
Here's MVP, the highest ranked player in the world by GSL standards. He is very scary. He's one of these guys who just goes around winning everything. He hasn't won as much money, but
yeah, he's only won like 300,000 or so.
I know.
It's kind of low compared to
low.
you know, MC and ST, I guess.
It's too bad.
Actually, I think he won more than ST now.
No, he has. ST's number 3, I believe.
Okay.
And we have the game ready. So let's do this. Are you guys excited? All right. In the bottom right, we have our Terran player of the last hope of the Terrans, the best Terran in the world. Give it up for MVP. And in the bottom left, we have our Zerg player playing so well. The foreign Zerg here. Give it up for sLivko.
Well, they're starting out on Antigua, and after the game we just saw, I don't know if this will be as epic, Tasteless, but good to get out of the way, right?
Yeah, you know, the last series is going to be pretty hard to beat. I'm sure this will be a good series. Now, this is going to be sLivko's greatest challenge yet.
Yes.
MVP, you know, this guy has been there since the beginning of StarCraft 2, and he's continuing to dominate. He was a very good StarCraft 1 pro gamer. Actually, a really nice guy. We know a lot of the IEM guys in person very well.
Yeah.
I would say the best team out there. They don't perform the best in Team League.
Yeah.
But I guess if you just to rake in all the raw data for their accomplishments, it's pretty insane. It's basically unmatched.
Yeah, it's completely unmatched. That is for sure. But you know, Rock's Kiss is actually a great team as well, and a lot of people don't know that. They're a legendary Russian team from StarCraft 1. You know, Bruce, their manager from StarCraft 1, used to be a pro gamer there, assembled basically the best of Russia and put them together on this team. And they've just been killing it in StarCraft 1. And now in StarCraft 2, we're starting to see them pop up. sLivko has been going to a lot of tournaments and placing deeply. It just hasn't gotten like a top 4, top 2, or a win yet. But that is coming in his future for sure.
Well, looks like we got a quick command center here. And we're going to start this off on the map that we just ended our last series on, Antigua Shipyard. Tough map for sLivko to start out on.
And it's actually a command center first into barracks and gas right away. So this is very similar to what we saw in the last set with Supernova. Just pretty greedy overall.
The refinery finishes, and when this barracks is done, we're probably going to have a factory made right around here.
It would be really weird to have anything else made, I have to say.
No, that would be very strange. We'd have to start really analyzing this.
And sLivko actually was making a gas and then canceled it. That's pretty interesting to see, actually.
Yeah.
You know, he may have been doing that for a little larva trick. You know, get out an extra drone or something like that. But it was making for a long time, so I think he actually was planning on getting speed, then decided, you know what, no, I'm gonna make a ton of drones and really work on my mineral economy. So I gotta ask myself, am I gonna see sLivko go for 6 queens, 4 queens, or something in between, which would be 5 queens?
Look at you, numbers guy.
I know. I'm all over the place.
And we have the SCD coming up here, taking some hits from Zerglings. And actually, unfortunately, not getting any intel. Wow, that's a really bad start there for MVP.
Yeah, that was not a very good scout whatsoever. He literally saw nothing but a little bit of creep.
And so, again, very standard stuff. We're not wizards here. If you are not a StarCraft 2 person, you're watching this right now, this is just what Terrans do always in this matchup.
Yes. You know, looks like he's not actually going to go into Banshees of any sort. Going to throw down a couple more barracks instead. And sLivko is about to finish 2 more queens. Will he make 2 more after that? He is already getting his 3rd base, and no gas yet. So I would say for sure he's going to go up to the 6 queens. We will see, though, in just a second.
Now remember, our Zerg player here plays totally differently from Vortex. sLivko, a lot more of a, I'd say, your conventional Zerg play. I don't feel that this guy always is trying to build up to the late game. You know, you have like Elfie, it's like, well, this guy's going to get a mothership in the PvZ.
Yeah.
Probably won't end
If
this.
his 2-base all-in doesn't kill you, you will get that mothership.
He will get that mothership, deal with it. But, you know, with, you know, and the same thing with Vortex. He always gets those Broodlords. I don't think we got to really cast any games of him unless he lost to a rush. Where he didn't get the Broodlords out. So this game is, these 2 guys very different. I'd say a little bit more well-rounded.
Yeah, I would go with that as well. You know, sLivko plays for the long game almost all the time, and MVP does absolutely anything. Very good at long game and the early game. But right now we do have some Hellions going up to hit the 3rd base, and we actually had sLivko only go up to 4 queens, so he doesn't have a lot of defense against Hellions right now. No speed for Zerglings or anything like that. He's actually throwing down some spines and making a Roach Warren. So that's going to be how he chooses to actually try to defend against this.
All right, the Hellions backing off now. 3rd base is up and secure, and a spine crawler here just in case.
We do have Stim on the way as well as a lot of Marauders, so we're going to see that same timing that we saw before, where you go down with the Hellions, with some Marauders and Marines, with Stim, combat shields, all the good stuff, and try to get some real damage on.
And now, you know, the Queens just continue to push out creep. You know, MVP, this guy is actually the reason why Terran is played the way it is. Whoop, hold on. Queen almost goes down.
Ooh, some nice marker there by MVP, killing off a few Lings. You know, any units that he can reduce right now is really, really helpful. And in fact, sLivko even getting some spores, so he's really not sure what's going on. As far as he knows, a Banshee's coming, and he has to get ready for it.
Yeah. So what I was saying earlier is this guy basically is the reason why Terran is played the way it is, because MVP came up with all the builds. That's why we called him the Game Genie Terran. He was just so good, and pause.
Like maybe a little issue going on.
Yep. Occasionally, you know, mouse cord gets stuck or something like that, and it looks like he's actually fine.
Actually,
ready to go.
You're exactly right. I think that's exactly what happened.
I did it, man. And we're gonna have one of those timing attacks here, where you know, it's actually just like what we saw from Supernova.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if he can get something done with it, Tasteless. There is one spine crawler, actually. He did cancel that second one. Making roaches, making lings. It looks like Zergling speed just finished up for him, so that's a good timing. And now the attack is going to commence. Does sLivko actually have enough to hold this off, though?
This game could end very quickly. Then again, 16 Lings on the way here, and a lot more Marauders than Marines here. I think he was expecting more Roaches. Then again, the Hellions could clean that up as well.
Well, MVP already stimmed, so sLivko's trying to wait out that stim because, of course, there are no medevacs to heal, and the stim just now wearing off. The Lings coming up, a lot of Queens and Roaches. He's pulled everything to try to do this, flanking from the other side as well. Does sLivko actually have enough to hold him off?
MVP controlling his army really well. If he gets onto the high ground, no, he's going to back up. But the Hellions are in a bad position here, taking a lot of damage from those Roaches.
That is right. The Queens also have a lot of transfuses left, using that very wisely, but the rest of his units are almost dead. And look at that. He's basically held for now.
I feel like I'm in this bizarro world where Korean Terrans are losing right now to non-Koreans, but I guess that's just my reality, guys.
That is indeed.
That's just what's happening right now.
And it should be. These guys are playing so well.
So well.
In fact, sLivko is looking so strong. Look at this, 109 supply to 89. He's got 62 drones. He's got a lot of Roaches and a lot of Queens, and is also teching up quite heavily, going for that infestation pit. His 1-1 for Lings is almost done, and the Baneling speed is almost halfway. So he's basically prepared for everything, and he's got a great economy.
Well, it does. Oh, excuse me. There is a command center over here, so he's going to go ahead and move that over here in just a little bit. Judging from the number of attacking units that are being made, we may actually have a counter-attack over here on the third. And I'm saying that because I'm seeing all these Banelings getting morphed over here.
Yeah, that definitely could be. He's making a lot of Lings, as you said, Tasteless, and getting his fourth base in the center. So he's decided that since he already has this many units and he's already kind of beaten down MVP a little bit as far as army goes, that he is able to take that base. We'll see if he can keep it, though.
And here we are. We have the command center coming down. And will we have an attack? You know what? I guess not. But damn, sLivko, you're pretty ballsy. You're actually going to expand to that location. This really says that he really feels like he can actually hold this, no problem.
Yeah. Well, we have Hive and Spire on the way, so he's checking up to those Broodlords, and sLivko definitely one of the best at controlling those against Terran. He's just so good with that Broodlord composition. But can he get there while having this fourth base, not losing it? That is what's so important.
Spine crawlers coming up here. sLivko making those Banelings. Did he get Burrow or no? He didn't have Burrow yet. I was wondering if we were going to see some Burrowed Banelings. All right, and the medevacs moving out right now. This base, though, actually not that well defended. He could actually land it right here, which is what he's going to do, and probably pull off some damage.
Yeah, these medevacs could be a problem. You know, he doesn't really have anti-air. The only things he has is some infestors popping out and some Queens. No mutas or anything of the sort.
Ling spilling in here, hitting him so hard, he picks up. He begins to back off.
And as we see here, MVP trying to get something done, but oh, the Queen's almost taking out that medevac.
Yeah,
that would have
really
been a big
nice.
deal. And sLivko's actually mining from the center. His Hive just finished up, and he started his Greater Spire. This is sLivko's playing very well here, but MVP's getting ready, Tasteless. He is starting to move out.
The push distance here is very short. And it's very tough for the Zerg to prepare. That's one of the reasons why this map is so hard.
He's got to be
Whoa,
careful.
he's like not watching his army right now. All his stuff just died.
You know, that many units could be what makes the difference. He cannot be losing little groups of units here and there. He needs a gigantic swarm to actually hold this off.
All right, Marines gunning down these drones here. Ling's coming here, stimming and running away now. He's going to have the next group come over here and try to defend that.
Oh, sLivko just kind of hemorrhaging units right now. He's having a hard time. Looks like he'll probably lose this hatchery. Hopefully he'll save those drones that all seem to want to get gassed so bad before they die.
And here's what we're talking about. This hatchery does go down.
But we do have the attack on the high ground, trying to go for these siege tanks with slow Roaches and some Lings, but sLivko really not doing a good job of hanging on right now. He's losing all of his ground army, and MVP's supply is basically caught up.
All right, he's regrouped here in the center. And this is what we were talking about in the previous game that we just casted, guys, is that Zergs tend not to expand here, even when they're ahead, because it's just so hard to actually hold against a Terran, the siege tanks.
Yeah, and sLivko was very messy with all that as well.
You know, it's MVP. I know he's the best in the world, but should he really be pushing here? I don't think so.
Yeah, you know, he's actually just made 2 more starports to help out with Viking production to take out these Broodlords. So definitely pulling back as he's doing now is the right choice for him. He's got to get those Vikings up and get that unit composition that can very cost efficiently deal with sLivko's army, which is very low in economy right now.
We have the command center on the way now, and he's going to try to take this location. sLivko's going to double expand. That's not even like a move of desperation. That's just he has the money to do that. He lost the production facility. He might as well make 2 more hatcheries.
It's a good choice, too, but 2 Marines up at one of them, really dealing a lot of damage to that hatchery. A little bit annoying, so he does already know about that area. I'm sure the MVP will send something over there, whether it's a medevac or just a few Marines during another battle.
5 Corruptors over here now. MVP pushing out. Oh, no, excuse me, he stopped right there. So he's probably going to make a planetary here. You almost never see an orbital over here.
And you know what? This is looking bad for sLivko. MVP's producing 4 Vikings at a time. He already has 7 out. There's only 5 Corruptors and 4 Infestors for anti-air, so that is not what he wants.
Oh my God, excuse me, we have a little drop here. Taking out the Spine Crawler. Now the angle here is actually going to make these Zerglings not anywhere near as effective. So these are, as you said earlier, hemorrhaging units here. In fact, he's going to barely hold this off.
Yeah, that's right. And in the meantime, ooh, some nice fungal growths going off. These Broodlords trying to do what they can. The Vikings coming in from the side. But is there actually too much here for MVP? A lot of Marines targeting down Corruptors. But sLivko does continue to push forward.
sLivko fighting back, guys. Unbelievable. He overextended there, and he wasn't able to kill off all the Corruptors in time. And the Broodlords just had their way with those ground units.
Yeah, this is really good for sLivko right now. He's actually way up in supply after that. He's got his 4th base up and mining once again. A lot of Corruptors on the way. And MVP is really focusing on Vikings. So this is all going to turn into mostly an air war.
Well, he's pushed back MVP a little bit. sLivko runs over here in a heartbeat and just comes and snaps down this expansion. Is he going to be able to save it in time? Blings and Banelings coming up here. The expansion at half health, 1/4 health.
Yeah,
and
looks like it.
He's going to engage these Zerglings, but again, the Banelings are on the way here. He needs to split well.
Oh, wow. Is he actually going to save this hatchery somehow? No, not quite.
Nope. Takes it out.
Well, that's too bad. sLivko really did want to keep that. Should have killed those rocks, actually, that we saw in the last game from Vortex. It's a very helpful thing to do to defend a base like that in these positions. Now, the Broodlord count's getting scarier and scarier. He's actually going to go up to, it looks like, 8. And a lot of Corruptors out, a lot of Banelings on the way as well.
And I don't know, man. They're both maxed out. But
that's a lot of Vikings.
Yeah, but the thing is, Zerg does have the high ground here, so the ground units are not going to be that helpful. It's going to be hard for them to get up there and target down, you know, the air units here.
Very right, Tasteless.
And while this is going on, he's going to lose all these SCVs and potentially the planetary. Here we go.
And the Vikings coming in from all over the place right now. And some nice fungal growths going down. The Marines coming up. They're going to want to target down anything that flies. But the Banelings coming down to help out. And does sLivko actually have enough? He has a ton of Corruptors right now. They do have that +1 attack. Oh my God, sLivko just killed the 4th base of MVP.
And he doesn't really have any more options now. He's going to have to relocate an orbital over here. I can't believe this. This is like the week of Broodlords here. I've lost count of how many Broodlords I've seen if you add together all the games I've casted.
Well, the Viking count is falling, Tasteless. sLivko maxing out once again. MVP with a desperation drop down at the 3rd of sLivko. But he just has so much right now. I'm not sure what MVP is hoping to accomplish.
Yeah, I think he just has too much, and he has this source of income over here. Pretty epic game as well, just like our last one. And, man, takes out the Overlords here. And, okay, MVP now pushing back. Broodlords have backed up. It looks like he might even let him reclaim this so he can kill it again and end this game. These Marines are doing a lot of damage, by the way. And actually, MVP is so aggressive, he's just going to push over here, try to get this hatchery as well. Maybe not a good idea. Yeah, with this many Zerg units.
I don't think it's going to work, man. These Corruptors are going to clean up the Vikings and then go after the medevacs even. Everything just falling for MVP right now, but he's killed the third base, so that's good. sLivko is only mining from one location, and that's a dangerous location, as we've mentioned several times.
We're getting to the volatile point of this game here. Taking out these Marines. The space has been reclaimed. Where is SCVs? He needs to have SCVs over there. He's super saturated over here.
Now, sLivko has stabilized. He's stopped the drops. He's stopped the harassment. It's time for him to now push forward and end the fourth base of MVP. He's got very few minerals left in his natural and third base, so if he can kill that, MVP is going to be mining almost nothing.
GG. MVP has been slain in game number 1.
Wow. sLivko, man,
dude,
taking out MVP in spectacular fashion. I thought he would lose it after he just lost so many units on the high ground in the middle and his fourth base as well. But he did a great job. He came back with those Broodlords. Just perfect maneuvering.
Well, that's a little bit of a shocker. You know, we're seeing 2 Zergs be two best Terrans in the world on Antigua Shipyard.
In fact, if he wins this, the top 4 of a tournament full of Koreans is going to be 3 foreigners and a Korean. That would be craziness.
That's a little weird. MVP can't be happy with that last game. He played it the way you should play it. You know, let the fourth base occur and then play it to your advantage. But he out-muscled sLivko back there. I think we're going to get this game started pretty soon here, Artosis.
Yes.
Is sLivko going to win this, or is MVP going to come back?
Well, I tell you what, that map can be very difficult. Anytime that sLivko doesn't get damaged early, he gets an insane economy, and he just does a great job of pushing around with Broodlords. He's just so good at maneuvering. So I feel like the later the game goes, the more likely sLivko is to win.
Well, you know, MVP is one of these players. He's so solid. He has so many different builds. Hopefully he'll bring some better games here. But sLivko really showing us what you can do with Zerg back there. In a position where we would say, no, Terran gets that high ground, and that's it. You know, cheese early and don't deal with that. No, apparently sLivko says, no, it's fine.
Well,
I'll go to the late game.
Next map is Ohana. The countdown has begun. Ohana's going to be a pretty decent one for MVP.
Yeah, I think so.
The push distances won't be nearly as long as some of the other maps.
Antigua Shipyard was pretty good for MVP.
I know,
it didn't
right?
work out. So going into the game, let's intro our players. In the bottom right, we have from the team Rock's Kiss. Give it up for sLivko. And in the upper left starting location, in the red, give it up for MVP.
All right, so MVP no doubt going to expand and go Hellions, because that's what Terrans do. I wouldn't mind seeing a double Rax, but I don't think that'll be the case. sLivko showed last game kind of an interesting style. You know, he went 4 Queen, but a quick third into Roaches with Speedlings. So, you know, that definitely can be good against the type of push that MVP did, because the Roaches, of course, help out so drastically much against Marines and Hellions in the early game.
All right. Throwing down the barracks now over here. It looks like we're not going to have... Oh, I'm sorry. He moved it at the last second. I thought it was going to be a barracks. So he's going to go command center first.
A good choice. I mean, sLivko is not going to go ahead and pull him early or anything like that. sLivko has to feel reasonably confident. I mean, as confident as you can against MVP.
Yeah, I mean, sLivko, he's got to feel great after game number 1. And then seeing somebody of the caliber of Supernova losing, you know, in that previous series, saying, you know what, today these Koreans, they're not so tough.
No, I guess they aren't. Well, we'll see. I mean, MVP is not down or out yet. He is absolutely one of the Terrans that can, in any circumstance, find a way to win. So we do have the command center first. Drone is actually harassing just slightly, but we'll run out of here.
And there will be, they're kind of in the macro phases where they're just setting up all their buildings, making all their workers. You see a little chase scene down here where the SCV chasing back with the drone. And he didn't scout yet, did he? No, he hasn't scouted yet at all.
Ooh.
You know, what do you see?
sLivko has actually gone double hatchery before pool, which we were talking about so much before.
I love it.
Yeah, really, really smart play here by sLivko. He's just going to get his creep going, his production going like mad.
This is some super smart stuff. Because, you know, there are certain builds in this game that only beat people who are, like, really smart, you know? And he's saying, well, MVP, he knows this map. He's probably going to go command center first. I'll just get 2 hatcheries. Neither of us can hurt each other. I'll get a leg up on him.
Yeah, and that's exactly what's happening here. A very good job, good decision-making here by sLivko. Now, how many queens will he make? Because, again, I feel like, you know, MVP, is he going to do the same type of attack? Because if you go for, let's say, the 6-queen style, and MVP does the attack he did last game, it's going to be pretty good against it. Queens aren't going to deal a lot of damage to Marines with combat shields and Marauders. They're going to be taken out reasonably quickly. But against, when you're spread out like this, if they go for just a lot of Hellions for harassment, then those queens are going to be worth way more.
Well, as you can see, the factory's coming down now. Now, what build? Oh, actually, I guess it kind of answers it. We have double gas here. Do you think he's going to do another timing?
Oh, double gas. That's interesting. You know, I think he's just going to go for Hellion Banshee here. In which case, the queens are going to be very important. 3 are in production right now because he has those 3 hatches already. It's so crazy, man. His economy is going to get out of control in a second here.
And now larva injecting. And by the way, the Zergs we got here at this tournament today, they do not miss larva injects. Yeah, they do not miss a beat.
Zerg's macro are becoming so much better. It's actually craziness.
They put that queen to work right when she comes out.
Don't give her any time to rest or get acclimated.
No vacation time here. Starport now coming down here, and the Tech Lab being here, and the Starport being here. I think you're dead on Artosis. Hellion Banshee.
Will we see Cloak, though? That is the question. And, I mean, he'll have just about enough gas to do that if he wants when it comes up. I wouldn't be too surprised. You know, already sLivko's kind of spread out, and if he doesn't have spores, when Cloaked Banshee gets there, then a lot of damage will be done because his lair is going to be pretty late this game.
And I don't actually see any way that he could scout this either. You know? It doesn't look like he has a Ling available to come in here and check for this. By the way, MVP going to expand again, and that's what you want to do with a build like this. And this is probably the best way to catch up from Zerg, who's going 3 hatch before spawning pull.
Very, very much so, Tases. And now we do have Cloak on the way for the Banshees. Hellions being produced, so he's going to be harassing and expanding at the same time. sLivko getting his Roach Warren, but no layer yet. So I'm getting a little bit nervous. He's going to need Spore Crawlers by the time that cloaking field is done.
And he's going to get a block up over here. The drones are vulnerable, and they're in a line, too. Oh, he's trying to spread. And
wow, a lot of drones actually being taken down so far. That is 9-10 drones killed. And it looks like the Queens will finish cleaning up, but not before he gets one more. 11 drones killed by these Hellions. Really well done. Now, MVP with his Banshees is going to want to target drones again. That's going to be what he's going for because he's already killed a lot of drones. He's lost his Hellions, so he can't really battle against Queens right now.
2 more refineries coming up here. And Cloak almost done.
We do have a couple spores on the way.
Thank God. I was getting a little bit worried about sLivko for a second.
Well, one's at the third, the other one at the main, so the natural is the one place that might be a little bit weak.
Looks like he's theorized that this, hold that thought. Hellions coming over here, hitting these drones so hard.
That's right, but the Spinecrawler doing a pretty good job of holding them off. Still a lot of damage being done, and MVP's up to 17 drone kills. Finally does get cleaned up by those Slowlings, but that's a lot of drone kills so far. And we're about to see the Banshees come into play.
All right. The Banshees, let me find them. Here they are, coming down on the map. And he knows exactly where to go.
Uh-oh, yeah, there is nothing in here as far as detection goes, so a lot of drones going to die. He's going to have to run those away, too.
He has to actually ditch this location.
Yeah.
Like, entirely.
And, in fact, with no Spore even anywhere nearby, he can deal a lot of damage. Look at this, the Queen being targeted down, and down goes the Queen.
Well, where does he go from here? Does he want to try to go to another base and start killing more drones? Do you want to hit the Roach Warren or something weird? I guess that's what he wants to do.
Yeah, looks like it. And that makes sense because he is going mech tasteless, and he does not want that around now. These Hellions trying to get up, and in fact, they will.
Oh
look
my
at
God, this angle is like so good. The spine crawler or sport crawler actually working out pretty well there.
Absolutely. Now these are going to get into the main base. A nice surround with drones and lings, but they're still going to get a lot of kills. Doing so much damage to sLivko right now. MVP is just tearing him apart.
MVP is burying this guy. I mean, there's almost too many drones lost.
49 drones lost already.
Are you serious? At 11 minutes,
serious.
we have 49 drones dead.
Yeah.
Well, making at least over 60 with that last shot.
Oh, man. Well,
53 now.
That is a ton. Well, sLivko just made a bunch of roaches, so, I mean, he might just go up and attack, but how many Banshees do we have out? We have 2 Banshees, and Hellions are basically the army of MVP. What he needs to do is just make a bunch of units, defend attacks, and he's going to be in such a spot that sLivko isn't going to know what to do to come back.
Yeah, MVP with beautiful execution this game. Now he's moving up, but the Banshees here are just going to deny these roaches anything.
Yeah, they are doing a great job indeed, and going to pick some roaches off for sure here. MVP with a pretty strong supply lead right now, 111 to 83 at 12 minutes into the game. That is abnormal for sure. Now, sLivko, he's getting Infestation Pit. He's going for roach speed. I think that's about as best he can do is, yeah, get some infestors, get some roaches, and see if you can make something happen. Maybe MVP gets out of position. Maybe he can eventually get drop upgrade. But he needs to kill a couple armies of MVP to have a chance to actually come back into this game.
Now, sLivko is pretty resilient. I mean, I thought he'd be much more dead than he is now. He's actually only about 10 workers behind, which is pretty impressive considering he lost like 53 units in that last, in the past 10 minutes. So we'll see what he can do. He does need to push his creep out a little bit more. I feel like there's not one thing really going for sLivko right now.
Nothing is going for him. You're
Oh, God,
right.
Here we go again.
That's right. Oh, even more drones falling. Looks like that might be the end of the drone kills, though. He's up to 56 at this point. Doesn't even matter. You can waste Hellions all over the map, and he'll actually be fine. He is getting Blue Flames, Siege Mode, Siege Tanks, Thors, basically just rounding out his army completely.
Here comes the Overseer now. Do a little bit of scouting, and he might actually, if he times it out right, see this 4th base. Oh, and actually the 5th base. So MVP is just going to expand. I don't think he can actually be attacked right now by sLivko. He's going to try to let sLivko attack into him, probably deflect it, and then go back and kill him.
It's a good choice, too. His army is way too fearsome for just roaches, so those infestors are going to be very important, but just infestors alone, when there's 4 Banshees out with Cloak, that's going to be annoying to deal with. Unless they catch him clumped up.
All right, so we have a planetary on the way over here. And what is he going to get a planetary over here too, probably? Yeah, that makes sense. He's just going to get that. The Banshees are going to force a cancel here. Oh, man, MVP has got this nerd on lockdown, man.
Yeah, he does. I mean, the roaches are coming up now.
Oh, my God,
but
denied again. MVP is completely bulletproof here.
Yeah, sLivko is... He's like in a fish tank, but he doesn't know it. He thinks it's the ocean. It's not tasteless.
It's not. That poor fish's life is a lie, man. It is not a fish tank.
All right, so MVP is just, he's going to hit 2-2. He's going to be maxed out. And then he's probably just going to roll through sLivko, because sLivko's trying to go up to Broodlords as best he can. But even if he gets there, and he's so good with them, there's just no way it's really going to do anything. There's just way too much of a lead for MVPs on 5 bases against 3, going mech against Zerg.
So we have the Hellions and the Siege Tanks coming down here. Thors, all this. An enhanced version of the Karn build with the Siege Tanks here. Maxed out meching Terran. He's closing in here. I don't know what he can do really. I guess he could try to neural parasite some of these Thors or something, but still.
Yeah,
this is going to be pretty tough.
I don't know, man. I don't think he even has it at this point. Now we do have the Infestors going up.
He may try to just throw a bunch of infested Terrans here to kill this off, which would be cool, except for the whole part where then MVP destroys the rest of sLivko's stuff. Like his base and everything.
I mean, I'm not sure why sLivko is even doing that. That's not going to make any real big difference.
All right, so he's going to do that.
It's not even going to kill it.
Oh, this is depressing.
And now he has no energy on those Infestors, and there's still a mech army killing him. We should be seeing GG in a second here, to be honest.
Yeah, I think so. All right, so we are going to be going on to game number 3, GG.
All right, so that one was kind of brutal, I have to say. sLivko won a close game in the first. Second one got completely dismantled by MVP. The drone kills were off the charts all game long. And, you know, that's what we talked about before the game. If you can kill a bunch of sLivko drones early on, then you can take him out. And MVP did just that.
I think MVP needs to stick with strats like this. He is the expert here, but you know, I like what he did. He's so good with his control and his execution, and he can juggle all those tasks back at home that, I mean, he just he kills all those drones, and meanwhile MVP is leagues ahead of his opponent.
Yeah. Well, looks like he wants a drink. A little bit thirsty. There you go.
There you go,
Have
buddy. Got to stay hydrated.
sLivko, on the other hand, doesn't need water.
He's clearly hydrated right now by the shot here.
Well, sLivko makes me think of a snake, and snakes can live in the desert, so he's fine.
Okay. Very useful information here from Artosis.
Yes.
Looks like we're going to have them joining the game here momentarily, and then we're going to go on into game number 3. We are slightly strapped for time here.
Yeah,
now, sLivko probably really thinking about what he needs to do in this game to make this, you know, work a little bit differently than in game number 2.
Well, this map's Cloud Kingdom. This is going to be a little bit more friendly for him, I feel. MVP, though, what kind of early timing attack is he going to try? Because I feel almost certain he's not going to go just for like 3 command center, 2 eBay right away. There has to be either a Hellion Banshee or Hellion Marine Marauder type of pressure going on, because if there's not, sLivko just gets out of control with his macro. He gets out of control with his tech and those Broodlords especially.
Yeah, it seems like apparently if you go to the end game with these two guys, sLivko does have an edge. Really good with those Broodlords and Festers, Lings and everything else. I'm under the impression he must be reviewing the replay or something, because he's still not in our game yet.
Yeah, I guess he is, probably.
But
well, let's see. Cloud Kingdom, right?
Yeah.
For sLivko, do you change anything here?
I don't know if this map is... I feel like Hellion Harassment's a little bit easier on Ohana. Cloud King... Well, no, never mind. I take that back, actually. I would just say he has to be really ready for the Hellions to come in. The weird thing about Cloud Kingdom is that third base that you're probably going to have to take if you're Zerg. That's actually hard to defend from Hellions. They can come in from 2 different sides.
Yeah, they definitely can. Yeah, he has to be very crisp with his timings on speed and on the Roach Warren, so that he actually has the units needed to hold those off. He needs to keep his drones alive. Like, if I'm sLivko at this point, I'm thinking, okay,
dude, he lost,
I see what you're trying to do.
53 drones.
Yeah, it was just never going to be close.
Think about that. It could have been at the 11-minute marker, and he could have had, because he already had like 53, he could have had over 105 drones. Not that you necessarily want 105 drones in this matchup, but the point being is that there was a lot of time that was just lost trying to rebuild stuff.
Yeah. So, I mean, at this point, I want to see him building walls. I want to just see him making sure that he's not losing a drone.
Yeah.
All right, so MVP is now in the game. We should be starting in just a second here.
Oh, my God. It's going to start so soon.
Tied up 1-1. Could we go to Game 5?
By the way, guys, it's a real treat to be down here in Germany in beautiful Cologne. We love your cathedral. Is it called the Dome? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
The Dome, right? All right. My producer's yelling, of course, in my ear. I don't know, man.
Why, of course?
Yeah,
all
man.
right. It is starting, Tasteless. sLivko against MVP. Let's get into that game and introduce our players.
All right. In the upper right, we got our Terran player. We're now in the rubber match. The Game Genie Terran. Give it up for MVP. And in the bottom left, we have our Zerg player. Let's make some noise for sLivko. If you guys would please get on Twitter right now and hashtag IEM. We want to get this trending throughout the course of the week. It doesn't matter what you say, just pound sign and IEM. When we get stuff like this trending, it actually does help the tournament. It helps people, discover esports or discover IEM
Yes.
until Extreme Masters.
Indeed it does. And so basically any tweets you make, go ahead and do that. Even if you're tweeting at your mom, that you're going over your friend's house, just be like, hashtag IEM. Because she probably doesn't know what hashtags are anyways.
She doesn't know. She probably doesn't have a Twitter account either.
Well, then why are you tweeting at her?
I don't know. You probably made her one because you're a nice kid.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I guess that
see?
would work, yeah.
All right, we got the barracks. This is very MVP-like, too. He puts the barracks out here. This is actually going to be just outside of the drone's vision, right? If he clicks into the main?
I believe so, yeah. He should not be able to see this. MVP is sending down the second SCV, so he's going to do a two-barracks
he's going to
push.
try to pressure this guy.
Wait a minute. Actually, no, he should. Yeah, no, you're right. It's just barely not going to see it.
Okay, watch this, guys.
Yeah.
And
no, he saw it. Oh, my God. That was a big misplaced
thanks
barracks.
for making us look dumb, MVP.
Well, it should have been out of the vision.
All right, well, element of surprise is gone now.
All right, so now that he knows that two barracks are coming, MVP probably will change his plan, put on some pressure, but not as aggressive as he could have been.
And, well, this is just really bad. The whole point of the setup with these buildings is that there's no way for this Zerg to prepare for it. And you can just lose your hatch, and then you don't get to go to a late game. So MVP probably very annoyed right now that this is the turn of events.
Yeah. Well, sLivko is getting his spawning pool. He's going to have to take this threat very seriously. Even though he scouted it, a lot of times Terrans will still go through with it. In fact, 2 more SCVs coming. MVP does want to do some damage here.
Oh, wow. Now, this is the weird thing about when you get to cast an MVP game is he always, whatever conventional knowledge the enemy have, he will bend those rules because he knows his opponent is still smart and will respond a certain way because this is very unpredictable to do this. Cancelled there at the last second.
Yep, and of course, more minerals lost by sLivko killing it than for MVP to do that. And here we go. He's going to start pushing. 8 lings are on the way. Oh, my God.
Okay, denied.
Oh, he was trying to pull a select right there, but now he's going to have to back up.
Well, he could still do it, actually.
He might. He might.
Here we go. Is he going to do it? 1, 2.
Oh, man.
2.
Doesn't quite get it. He still does have these 3 Marines, though. More Marines on the way with some good micro. He can pick off quite a bit, but that's a lot of Zerglings. And MVP in some trouble. This just completely did not work.
And, man, nice denial there by sLivko. I feel it's kind of funny. It was sort of luck of the draw. If he clicked just a little bit more of a different location up here, he might not have seen that. We could already have a GG right now. But
if you put up those 3 bunkers like that, nothing can get past. It's a strategy that Select used to use all the time. And it's super powerful if you can get it off. But if you don't, I mean, you've been making buildings, canceling, a lot of SCVs not mining, Marines not doing damage. And sLivko has completely stabilized. MVP is going to have to probably just go ahead and make 2 command centers. He's already started the first.
And dead on Artosis, very nice. Next command center. My mouth is going to be ripped by the end of this tournament. I am talking so much. We are having next command center over here. And then, of course, when it's time, it's going to go to this expansion. Now, as far as drones go, let's take a look here. 20 drones to 18 SCVs. sLivko's in great shape.
Yeah, he's doing really well. He can drone up and just go into a normal game from here if he wants. MVP, on the other hand, does have the 2 geysers going up, the 2 command centers. He can't really do any scary attacks anytime soon. He could just continue to make Marines and push out with those again. But, again, that's not too scary. That's something that all Zergs have seen a lot of times.
All right, the orbital now is on the way here. And this is a great way to follow up this rush because you have enough Marines that you're basically safe. Wait, actually, quick question. Do you think this is dangerous for him to be moving out?
With the Marines?
Oh, never mind. He's just clearing out the watchtower.
Yeah, and even if he walks out a little bit further, I mean, sLivko likely not going to have speed by now, and there's no way you're going to have enough slow Zerglings to kill that. To kill that many Marines, you know how many slow Zerglings you need coming head on?
A lot.
Oh, God, do you need a lot? You need like 200 of them.
Wow. That would mean you have to give up all your drones. That'd be a tough, tough strat to do there. Oh, actually, no, I guess you wouldn't have to them all because they come out in pairs, don't they? Never mind.
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
It's
Moving
okay.
on. So we have the Marine production stopped here. He's getting 2 factories.
Yeah, going to be some Blue Flame Hellions for sure. And that's very common. I mean, all these things, the Zerg player is pretty much going to think, okay, the 2 barracks didn't work. Most likely he's going to go double command center into Blue Flame Hellion. And sLivko's already getting a Roach Warren, so this is already a very nice counter.
So the Marines were coming out over here. And I guess he is going to move all the way out of Artosis.
Yeah,
and they probably can deny this. I mean,
he might be able to.
These are slow Zerglings, so
yeah,
Marines are much stronger than them on, when they're not on creep.
This is a great move by MVP, but he is making a lot more Zerglings. Does kill the drone and force the cancel. Really well done by MVP. That is so annoying for sLivko. You really wanted that base up very soon here, but instead MVP has landed his third command center over there, and he's going to take his third first. So, wow, the small things that MVP does that really add up.
MVP is quite the thinker. I do really enjoy casting his games. He is such a smart player. 2 more gases coming in over here, and the double Evo chamber over here for sLivko. So sLivko still very intent on going to the late game here.
Yeah, well, we'll be able to finally remake that hatchery a lot later than he really wanted, though. We do have that speed just about finishing up. Carapace on the way, as well as a Baneling Nest. Layer a little bit over halfway done. And MVP is switching up into some Siege Shanks to go with his Hellions. So he's going to be pretty safe against anything. But I don't think sLivko's really planning on all-inning or anything like that anyways.
No, I don't think he is. I think he's one of those really resilient Zergs that just bounces back over time, similar to Vortex.
Yeah. Well, a third factory is actually on the way right now for MVP. So there's a possibility of him going mech. We don't really know quite yet because we have no engineering bays up to see any upgrades for that. We have no armories up to see any upgrades for the mech either.
All right, the hatchery now about to complete. And this is smart. He's just going to go ahead and back off. And now, when do you push right now if you're MVP?
All right, well, he's going double armory right now, so I would say not for a long time. He's going to go mech, and it's going to take a while for him to actually get an army that's good enough to walk around in the center of the map. I mean, he can do little small pushes, run around with Blue Flame Hellions, things like that. But to move out with a small number of siege tanks and whatever Marines he has, not really advisable.
Well, as time passes here, they're neck and neck right now in supply. sLivko is starting to catch up, get ahead a little bit. I know I said catch up, but really you're supposed to be about 20 supply ahead of the Terran, and then eventually you're supposed to just max out right around there at like 140 or something like that. So, sLivko does need to start getting ahead more and more and more here in order to be in a healthy position as a Zerg player. Yeah.
Right now he's making mostly just roaches, and he does have some good Zergling upgrades finishing up. So that's kind of good. The roaches are going to be very useful, but I'd love to see him get drops to go with this, but actually he's just going to make a lot of Banelings. Baneling speed and roach speed almost done, but there are 3 siege tanks out there with siege mode and some building walls being made.
All right. He's gearing up here. Going to try to attack at 2 locations. I don't know that this is advisable. I really don't think this is advisable, but let's see what happens. I did not expect this to occur. Here he goes now.
And the roaches, they want to take out some of these buildings so the Banelings can actually be useful here. Banelings crushing through some of these buildings, though, hitting some Marines, but the siege tanks can target down quite a bit. sLivko starting to do a lot of damage to MVP, taking out another siege tank, but there's a bunker and 2 more, so he's going to have to turn around.
Yeah, really ill-advised attack there. I was so confused when I watched that whole thing unfold. Wonky timing, and I'm so confused. Well, let's see. Maybe he can do it again here. That's a lot of Zerglings.
Yeah, he is going for it, trying to surround these Marines up a little bit, but these roaches really not that strong against this unit composition. Going to lose quite a few of them. Did take out some SCVs, though. He's killed 14 now.
He could make a bunch of Banelings over here. I guess it's not done yet.
Well, I'm so scared about people attacking with Banelings into siege tanks and fortified positions. They clump up. The amount that you can kill is just frightening.
I'm actually a little bit confused right now as to what he's doing, because I thought he was going to at least make more Banelings. Since he made all these extra lings, he might as well use them,
Well, maybe he's just going to leave them as Zerglings for now. There's not that many Blue Flame Hellions out at the moment, but I really wish he would get drops. Drops are so powerful against mech when you go roaches. If they go out of position one time, if they have 1 missile turret missing, you can actually just drop and deal huge amounts of damage to them.
So the 4th base is on the way here. Some creep tumors being placed here. Notice that there really has been almost no attention paid to creep here in this game.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is unfortunate for sLivko, because that means MVP's pushes are going to be very scary. Ouch!
Yeah, and you really want your creep far out if you're going for this completely ground-based army. You know, roaches and lings. You need to be able to move around the map and outmaneuver mech, and that's just going to help you to have a lot of creep.
All right, the Hellions are coming down now, and he's going to intercept it. Now here's the hard part. Okay, very good. sLivko pulls back. When you have that chasing with the Zerglians and the Hellions, there's moments where they can suddenly just roast all those lings in a line.
Yeah, the further you go with those lings, the more clumped up they become. So
yeah, exactly.
You have to be so careful. The Hellions just wait for that and then zap them.
He's getting zapped, Artosis.
Yes.
Now we got a bunch of Thors coming out here, and I think we might be seeing a push here. Excuse me. Oh, actually, okay, yeah, we will. All right, yeah. He's unsieging.
His 2-2 is lining up with this pretty well. By the time he's really out there and ready to fight, that 2-2 should be done. And he is, of course, rallying out a few Thors to mix in with it.
Note what he's doing with the hell. Oh, my God, he could get these infestors. But the Fungal's pretty good here. He wanted to draw the attention of the Zerg away so that he can take his 4th base over here.
Well, the Blue Flame Hellions that got away actually roasting a lot of drones up top. Roaches are coming around to clean that up a bit. And sLivko actually got the Hive, but forgot the Spire. He just started the Spire after the Hive was done, so that's an issue. sLivko is so good with that, and oh my God, look at this. The Blue Flame Hellions killing a lot more drones.
Really nicely done here. Let's see, what is the unit count on the drones? 85 to 73.
MVP has now killed 21 drones just recently with this harass. Only 3 were killed a few minutes ago, so that's an additional 18 drones he's taken off of sLivko.
All right, siege tanks, Marines, Hellions, Thors coming down. This is a very scary army. The Zerg has 16 roaches, it's 6 infestors, and 32 Zerglings.
Well, here he kind of goes. Is definitely going to turn around there, though. You know, I feel kind of bad for sLivko. He'd be having Broodlords morphing right now if he had remembered his Spire. But as is, this huge siege tank army, which would be so weak to that.
He needs a siege up. Ugh. Oh, man, this is a very, 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 very bad position here for sLivko. I don't think he can actually save his base. This is a planetary, too, so he can repair that if it gets hit pretty hard.
Yeah, he definitely needs to let that one go. Throwing down a lot of infested Terrans on these siege tanks, though. He wants to reduce that count, and reduce it he will, but there's a big line of siege tanks behind, which are going to be just fine.
And the problem here is that he can't mine from this base while this is all going on. The splash damage here just melting those infested Terrans.
Well, a lot more roaches and burrow on the way. Maybe he can get something done with a sneaky burrow trick. His Spire is done, but hasn't started the Greater Spire either. So sLivko having a hard time here with figuring out what exactly is he going to do to win the game. I mean, he's slowing MVP down, but that's not winning.
And I think this base is going to be taken out. Now it's okay. Now I love what he's doing here. He just walks away from the infested Terrans. That's what you want to do if you can. If you can just leave the infested Terrans. Just be like, I'm not dealing with this.
Yeah. And the Thors are going to definitely want to do that. I wish he had saved a Fungal, but he did not. And now the infested Terran's going to go down again. But a roach flank is coming up from the side, and he is going to pick off at least a few siege tanks here.
Wow, he actually survived that entire Zerg attack here. So looks like he probably will lose this base.
Yeah, not just this base, but the game is starting to fall a little bit out of control. We have a huge rally coming down to join up with that army, and sLivko doesn't really have what he needs to kill this off.
The hatchery under attack here. Roaches being hit so hard. I think we might see GG here. This is a slow, painful death. And there it is, GG.
Yeah, GG indeed. That was a hard one. And you know what? I think a lot of that comes down to the fact that he forgot to make a Spire. If he had Broodlords during that push before he lost that 4th hatchery, before those siege tanks really pushed all the way down at the end, then he would have held that. He would have forced MVP into a bad position.
Well, frustrating moment there for sLivko. It was again another one of those slow, painful deaths.
Yes.
For him in that game. MVP probably feeling confident. He's 1 game away. Tough situation here for sLivko. He's going to have to win the next 2. And MVP is, of course, one of the guys with the most builds, if not the guy with the most builds in the whole game. So this is just a very tough situation for sLivko.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's ever faced anybody close to MVP's level.
Well, I
You know
mean,
what I'm
that's the
saying?
top level. Has he ever faced basically the best player in the world?
I guess we
and, well,
simpler
here he
way to
is.
put it. So.
All right, so we will find out about the next map in just a moment. Looks like it's going to be Metropolis.
Metropolis,
Now
okay.
this one gives you long games, Tasteless.
It certainly does, Artosis. But then again, with MVP, you never actually know what to expect.
Well, he did go double barracks that last game, even though sLivko found it.
All right, well, we're going to take a little break here. Day 9, you got anything to say?
Nope.
No, he doesn't, actually. Excuse me. Sorry. Okay, so we're going to just wait for sLivko to come into the game.
He's just got to get in here, and we will get going. This has been just a blast today, man. The amount of TVZs that we've gone through has been insane. And
it really has been.
You know, there's probably going to be quite a few more. MVP's looking poised to take this match, and if he does, we'll have ZVZs and TVZs all day tomorrow.
Well, it's sad for us here that there are no more Protosses left in the tournament.
Yeah, you know, MC put up a good fight, but was not enough.
So, you're sLivko, Artosis. You're in that seat.
Yeah.
You got those headphones on, the soundproofing ones. What do you do?
All right, it's Metropolis. I make sure I lose no drones early on.
Good
I secure
strategy.
that third base. I start taking a hive and take a fourth because attacking across a map that long is going to be very hard for MVP. And it's a great map for Broodlords. You know, you have those two small chokes that you can put spines at, slow Terran down. I think he plays basically a standard normal game. A little bit turtley, maybe a little bit extra turtley, because MVP is going to know, especially on this map, that he wants to kill drones early on or it's going to go long and it's going to be hard.
All right, now let's say that you're MVP. You're sitting there, you know, with your headset on, you're in the chair, you're up these 2 games. What do you do?
That one's a little bit harder, actually.
I think that one's the harder one to pick.
Yeah.
You got so many options, really.
He could go for that supreme late game as well. You know, set himself up pretty well.
Security, get this guy out of here. I don't know if they're going to let Red Eye back here. So, you got a good point. What do you, you know, MVP has been known to cheese.
Yeah, sure.
More so recently.
He could just go for double 11 racks in the middle, but sLivko drone scouts a lot, so that makes that a little bit harder to pull off. I don't think he's going to do that here. I wouldn't mind seeing him trying it, though, because if sLivko does his drone scout and it goes in the wrong direction, and he scouts MVP second, then the 11-11 may have a good chance of working.
Well, you know, when you're doing in a series like this, you have to pick the right builds and the right orders, and that's really why MVP wins the most, is he does always pick the proper set. For instance, you know, when we had MVP in the finals a little while ago, remember when he cheesed out his last 3 opponents in almost every single game in a row?
Yes, yes.
Talk about meta mind game stuff.
Man, if you're being too greedy, MVP will punish you for that. And, well, I mean, he's done that a little bit to sLivko so far, but sLivko knows how to tighten it up.
All right, sLivko's in the game. I think we're going to start this soon. We're just waiting for the confirmation. Hopefully
Looks
this
like
will go to
everyone
game
is
number
ready.
5. We'll see, though.
Yep. Just waiting for sLivko to say, okay, let's go. You know, he's probably deep in thought right now, not even looking at his monitor, just trying to figure out, what do I do here? What type of play do I use? Do I try to cheese? My life is on the line.
I mean, this could be one of the biggest moments in his entire career. He beats MVP.
Yeah, absolutely, Tasteless. Well, the countdown has begun. sLivko definitely deep in thought here, getting ready. Can he do it?
We're going to see. Guys, we're here at the Intel Extreme Masters. It's our final series. Let's make some noise, show the people at home how much fun you're having. All right. Center left starting location, we have the highest ranked Terran in the entire world. Give it up for MVP. Top and center, we have our Zerg player. He's down. He needs to win the next 2 games. Show him your support. Give it up for sLivko.
All right, so they're close by air. That's going to be a little bit better for MVP. Drops and harassment are going to be stronger because of that. Also, his push distance isn't going to be quite as long.
That is very true.
Now, that probably will impact how he plays this game, I would say. Already, he hasn't sent any SCVs out, so it's not going to be something like that 11-11 racks like we were talking about. And good thing, too, because this Overlord's going to be down there in just a second.
And, you know, MVP, by far the most experienced pro gamer. So many championships. I actually have lost count of how many things this guy's won.
Yeah, it's impossible to count that high.
And now we're just going to kind of wait and see what sLivko's going to do. He's going to drone scout again. All the Zergs here that are doing well are drone scouting because they don't want to be cheesed. They want to win.
Mm-hmm. And if you just show drone scout over and over again, then your opponent is not going to cheese you, really. They always look for that. Does he drone scout? Where does his Overlords go? And just like keeping track of that, you can pick up so many free wins.
So as you can see, a little bit of drone harass over here. And this other SCV is going to come in here to save the day. Mm-hmm. And that's basically where it ends. He sends the wounded SCV back home.
Yep, going to build a barracks with it right there. We should be seeing a gas in just a second by MVP. This is like the new metagame that's forming here at this event. Get that really quick gas instead of a second racks up.
Then again, he does have this SCV over here.
Huh. And, he's actually just going to go for that second racks, which is fine as well. So I wonder if he's going to go for a marine pressure after this instead of reactor
You think he could get 2 more raxes here?
Yeah, he might. He might throw down 1 or 2 more raxes. And, you know, this is another style that we do see in Korea from time to time in TVZ, is to open up with the, of course, fast expansion. And then just, instead of Hellions, you walk across the map with, you know, maybe 7 to 9 Marines or so. And that pressure is pretty good because the Marines will kill Queens pretty quickly.
Now we have, well, I'm kind of waiting to see. Is he going to get additional command center here? Oh, okay. He's just timing it out with the orbital. Okay. And we can see MVP is checking around saying, is there a third base up yet? What's going on here? Now there's 2 lings on the way. Those might be the last few lings for the time being unless MVP starts to apply pressure.
Yeah, he's going to want to scout out with those quite a bit. Try to check what is coming. Is it Hellions? Is it Marines? Is it nothing at all? MVP, he might get really greedy here. I think we're going to see another command center in just a second.
You are correct, Artosis.
Yeah, just really focusing on economy right now, knowing that this is going to give a very long game. It is Metropolis.
Now we have a little depot set up over here. This is the spot in case an Overlord comes into his base early on, particularly this Overlord. He can see it and he can go up there and shoot it down.
Yeah. Now, as far as sLivko goes, already has his 2 queens. 2 more on the way, of course. You always get at least 4 queens. But will he get more than that? He's already taken his 3rd base, so it's either that he's going to go up to perhaps Roach Warren or get some extra queens, maybe get some quick speed. No gas yet, though.
All right. Powering hardcore here is sLivko. In fact, like you mentioned, no gas until just now. Mm-hmm. So let's see here. How many drones does he have? 26 to the 27 of MVP.
MVP trying to be sneaky here, throwing down a bunker in a place the hatch can't see, but there is an Overlord over there, so sLivko does see it. And in fact, sLivko knows what's going on with these Marines, so he's actually overmade Zerglings to be able to combat this.
So MVP will probably turn around now with these.
Yeah, he doesn't want to lose those. No point. That is enough Zerglings to take that out.
And I think he wants to make this look like he might have made, 5 racks more, or 5 racks total in his base.
Sure, yeah.
And he's just going to do that Marine pressure.
Oh, it's a good style to do. I mean, if you just keep showing Marines and more Marines, Zerg has to, keep making defenses, and he is. He's making a spine crawler. He's getting the Roach Warren. He already has a lot of lings. Those could have been drones.
So the barracks lands over here, and it looks like MVP going to go for some very orthodox Terran play, which is fine. But he's going to do the most middle-of-the-road textbook kind of style.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of Marines, get some siege tanks with that, get your medevacs, push out, probably win the first battle, then start dropping everywhere. If you want to learn TVZ, this is one of the builds you can copy.
Yep. Should see a couple engineering bays going up relatively soon here for MVP, as he definitely does need to get those upgrades going as well. sLivko already starting his double evolution chamber, so it looks like he should be ahead just slightly on the upgrades, but MVP follows suit right thereafter.
So here are those 2 Evo chambers. The Baneling's Nest is on the way.
And speed almost done for sLivko. His drone count getting pretty good. He's up at 54, but MVP with those quick 3 command centers has a lot of SCVs and mules. I wonder when he's going to actually go down and take his 3rd.
Looks like it's going to be now, actually. He's just now picked up. Probably should have fired a mule off in there before he picked that up, but everybody makes mistakes. So the Baneling's Nest is almost done. 1-1 here on the way now for the Zerg player. And Artosis, where do we go from here?
Well, it's a macro game, man. It's going to be long, and it's going to be hard on both these players. MVP, I think he goes and starts dropping a little bit. He checks out exactly what sLivko's up to. Is sLivko going to go Mutas to stop that? Is he going to go Infestors for perhaps a stronger late game? MVP is going to figure that out pretty quickly here. And if he can get some damage done, great.
Okay, he's going out here now. Zerg does not know yet that this is about to hit him. He did avoid this Overlord, not knowing that he's there even. And this Overlord will now see the drop.
And here we go. The drop is coming in. A lot of Lings are here. A lot of Lings still being made as well. Stim is about to finish. And
this could do a lot of damage. The Lings are coming here just now.
Oh, that's a lot of Speedlings, and the Queen's trying to target down some of these medevacs. Won't be able to get them, of course. But he defended that well.
If those Lings get there 2 seconds later, Stim is done, and then it's a fight that Zerg does not want to have. So, unfortunately, just not that impactful yet.
Yeah.
Not too much has happened yet, guys. They're still just powering up, both proceeding with really a lot of caution.
Well, some Lings coming down. That's a lot of mules that they're going to be able to get. Wow, that is a lot of lost income for MVP right now. Good move there by sLivko.
He may scan here. Oh, no, I guess he's not going to.
I'm surprised he didn't.
Yeah,
you know, I think he used up all his energy, actually.
Could be.
That was definitely an opportunity to scan.
All right, so the combat shield's about halfway done. 135 supply to 116. Nobody's really been able to bother the other ones, so we're going to see what this game's going to look like if nobody is attacking each other and they're both macroing perfectly. Or they have the opportunity, at least 2 macro perfectly. Nice corner here, picks up. Not too many losses with Marines.
You know, MVP actually mistimed his armory a little bit this game. His upgrades were finishing just as he started that armory, so sLivko's going to get even further ahead in upgrades, which is really good in ZVT. I mean, that normally doesn't happen. A lot of the times you actually have Terran ahead of Zerg, and that's much more normal.
Looks like sLivko predicted this attack over here. And he'll have to pick up immediately, and he does, not losing a single Marine. Spire on the way now.
As well as that Hive, so he's actually going straight up into Broodlords, which is what sLivko is so good at. Will MVP actually have enough here? He knows that this is the dangerous part of playing against sLivko. But MVP, he's getting ready for a 4th base. And pretty soon, hopefully for his sake, we'll see some more starports go up.
Uh-oh. Once again, denied here. Excuse me. So, you know, well, he's going to try to build up here. I don't think MVP is going to preemptively push. He's really patient when it comes to stuff like that. He always seems to be making the right calls as far as when it's time to attack, when it's time to defend. By the way, unit count here, 89 drones to 75 SCVs.
And MVP just did start those 2 starports, so he is pretty much aware of what's going on, what sLivko's trying to pull here. And in fact, is going to take yet another base.
2 more bases, actually.
Yeah, he's just all over the place. His upgrades are going, his starports are getting finished. He's really macroing like a beast. sLivko, on the other hand, he's kind of saving up a little bit. You know, he doesn't have as big an army, but he's getting a lot of Infestors, and he definitely wants to get his Greater Spire going right away. In fact, he started a 2nd Spire. He doesn't know that he has a Spire. He actually forgot.
We got a drop over here. The Spike Crawlers are getting hit pretty damn hard. They will be taken out, no transfuses, even though there was some energy for it. The Link's going to appear to defend. Meanwhile, he's pushing everywhere at once. Now, he's only doing this because he knows that there's the Spire is not yet out, so obviously the Zerg is going to have pooled a lot of money.
And nice fungals there by the Infestors. He just needs to buy some more time. He did actually get that second Spire on purpose. Looks like he wants to go mass upgrades. And in fact, look at this.
Oh, man, this could be really bad here for sLivko.
Yeah, he needs to hold on to this expansion.
Oh, my God, he's going to drop coming over here, too.
Drops just absolutely everywhere right
Massacring
now.
all these drones. And the angle here, not that good for the Zerglings. Really nice by MVP. It's hard to even keep up with this game. Now dropping over here. And he's going to see the Greater Spire, so he knows for sure now, if he didn't already.
Imagine if he could kill that off. That would be absolutely fantastic for him. sLivko coming up and battling with his queens. Trying to target down the Medivacs. Looks like he will get one of them.
That's the way to do it.
That's the one that had the Marines. All right,
he's pushing out again here. Now remember, the Zerg is actually maxed out, but he needs to finish his tech of getting the Broodlords out here.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of Corruptors. That's a lot of his supply right now. So he needs to morph those things right away.
Whoa, lots of Lings and Infestors coming down here. More than enough Infestors to take this on.
That's right.
And look, he's being very economical. Whoa, that was weird. Thought he was going to just throw down a couple of infested Terrans there. Guess he wanted to save that. We got another drop coming in here, though. MVP is not loosening up. By the way, the bases down here are being used and are operational.
Yep. Now, MVP trying to divide the attention of sLivko right now. sLivko kind of all over the place. Trying to defend everything at once while he gets that deadly Broodlord army. In the meantime, MVP is massing up on Ravens.
He's chasing him back right now.
And yeah, he's going to catch a few more siege tanks. Really good job by sLivko. You can see now the supplies have actually kind of reversed. MVP is behind, sLivko maxed out, and sLivko really getting the units that he wants.
Picks it up. And we're going to see him continue to try to harass here. Now watch this. He's going to turtle it out.
Yeah.
He's going to make planetaries here. He wants to make it so that basically there's no way to get into here, and then he's going to win with drops. So the Broodlords are coming. The command center's not yet done, so he's going to deny this. That Doom push is coming here from sLivko.
That's right. He does have all the full tech tree at this point, and we're going to have to see, can he break through here before it's sewn up tight? MVP's
not
trying to go for that
tanks.
super late game, and actually sLivko messing up a little bit there, losing his Corruptors. In fact, walking his Infestors into this all while attacking with just 3 Broodlords. But look at that, kills off a lot of Marines. He's doing a pretty decent job considering he has very few units down there.
He's got 7 Ultralisks on the way here.
Ooh, a nice Ultralisk switch. And MVP is making 4 Vikings at a time. So this was actually very clever by sLivko. sLivko has tricked him into thinking, okay, I'm just going all Broodlords. In the meantime, switching over those Ultras, fully upgraded Ultras against landed Vikings with basically no upgrades, that's pretty gross.
Well, we had a lot of Banelings coming in here. The Banelings with Ultralisks are pretty damn scary, especially if you've got those Infestors to fungal them. Now remember, MVP is not maxed out. He's actually at 161. Did he overextend by trying to take this? I don't know. We're going to see. He's trying to remake that command center. Meanwhile, sLivko is ready to attack yet again.
That's right. His 3-3 and chitinous plating not quite done yet, but he is moving across knowing that this is a good time for him to attack, considering how many flying units that MVP has right now that really won't be all that useful.
All right. Here we come now.
Indeed.
Can this do the damage? Is MVP going to hold this? Oh my God!
So many Seeker missiles killing off the Banelings and most of the Infestors, but the Ultras are still running in. A nice fungal goes off on those Marines. Unfortunately for sLivko, though, it looks like there should be enough here to actually hold on.
Yeah, I think he might lose his planetary here, but beyond that, I mean, he's just in really good shape. I mean, he killed off all those Banelings, all those Infestors, and although right now sLivko's pretty loaded, I mean, it's not enough to compromise for this, I think.
That's right. Well, 7 more Ultras, 6 more Infestors on the way. sLivko looks like he's going to go for another attack here, but with Banshees out, with some more Seeker missiles, a lot of Marauders being added into the mix, MVP still has this very scary force that's going to be hard to break.
That he does, Artosis.
It's a gruesome death for an Ultralisk, Tasis.
Indeed, man. There's no way for an Ultralisk to die. We have a bunch more Banelings now. Can MVP survive the second one? Does he still have the Raven energy? Not really.
Yeah.
Oh, well, he has some more over here, but not enough energy for the Seeker missile. This is going to be really hard.
Well, here we go. We actually have the Ultras running in right now, and the Banelings connecting with just about everything except for the Marines, which is what he really needs to hit with them. A lot of Ultras still in here, but great micro by MVP, and those Banshees dealing a lot of damage as well.
And you know what? Now he's at 177 to 184. So this is the first moment now where MVP is going to be higher in supply.
Yeah, that's very important, man. He's gone for the Supreme late game, the turtle mode. sLivko's been trying to kill him left and right, but it's just not working. These frontal attacks just are not working. sLivko has to try something else, whether it's more tech switches, whether it's Nidus, whether it's drops, but he can't just keep attacking right through the center.
All right, we have some more. Look, we've seen this happen a couple times before where people just they're in the end game and they know, well, I guess if Terrence turtling, I got to go ahead and do that Doom push ultra. You guys see it right here in front of you. We just need to have a Broodlord here to complete the image. I feel like he's overdoing it. I think he should take these and not attack, because that then secures him the game. Instead, he's throwing away 2 maxed out armies. And of course, MVP knows what's going on. He's just going to go ahead and make more planetaries back at home. Keep harassing over here.
Well, you know, it's going to be an interesting attack because he's going to bring a lot of queens with him. But look at this, a nice drop over on the 5th base of sLivko. He might actually be able to get that hatchery. In fact, he will get that hatchery.
Goodbye. MVP playing so well right now.
Yeah, he really is.
So impressive, really.
But sLivko is expanding twice more right now. The island's the only bases no one's attempted to take yet. And now it's battlecruiser time for MVP. He's still completely comfortable playing the very long game.
Uh-oh. Scary push here with the planetary is up. Let's take a look at the spread here. A lot of Ravens with a lot of point defense drones. There are some Corruptors, though, which makes it a little bit scarier. Ravens are not exactly safe in the air.
The Broodlord's sieging everything up so the Ultras can run in later. Don't forget, he does have a bunch of queens here with lots of transfusions available. Also, they are decent anti-air.
Another drop over here. Is he going to get this hatchery in time? Not enough lings.
But the Banshees are coming in, so it looks like he should be able to get that anyways.
Now these Banshees doing a ton of damage to these Ultralisks. He should be able to get that hatchery in a minute. Moving in here now. And is he going to get the Seeker Missile off? Oh my God. Unbelievable. Let's check the hit points here.
Yeah, I mean, the transfusion's not even coming off in time. Seeker Missile dealing way too much damage. And now these Infestors, all that's left here, he has to save those things. You can't just let this many Infestors die.
He's running. The Queens will be taken out. No way for them to get back home. And the Banshees will take out this hatch. Meanwhile, another drop over here. MVP is everywhere. This is insanity. I can barely keep up with my observing.
That's right. You know, this is really reminding me of that WCG Finals match from last year. Shigwa against MVP, where it looked like Shigwa was in good shape, just like sLivko was here. But then MVP is everywhere, and you just can't stop it.
Yeah, he turns it on like a switch. It starts killing everything and attacking all over the map, and most people just can't keep up with it.
Well, the Banshee's coming in to yet another base. Going to take out that spine crawler. He's not doing anything to anyone. I don't know why he's doing that. But
I know. It's a neutral spine crawler.
Yeah.
Well, all right, let me just do a quick mineral check. Empty. Oh, this is kind of cute. The Banshees will be taken out. This base is empty. Empty. Okay, some money.
Yep.
And then this. Oh, well, I'm sorry. That's not there anymore.
Yep, that one is gone now. The Ling's going to come in and clean this up, but yeah, sLivko doesn't have a lot left, whereas MVP, he's mining plenty right now, and he's getting his battle cruisers. He's continuing to make some Ravens here and there. His army is just this sick, cost-efficient beast of an army.
And he's really just forcing sLivko to just get whittled down over and over and over again. MVP really knows how to invest into late game. And just get it set up. And then what he's doing is he's just wearing sLivko down. sLivko probably doesn't play against people that do this as aggressively as MVP does. Just MVP is like, no, we're going to be in this game forever, man. sLivko's thinking, oh, but I'm maxed out. I got these Broodlords. Maybe I can end this. And MVP's saying, good, come on over to my base.
Yeah, that's what he wanted.
I'm going to take that all out. And when, in fact, he should have been turtling like MVP and taking these bases here and making a bunch of spine crawlers. Maybe even taking the islands.
Well, you know, he quite literally had the high ground, and sLivko decided to keep trying to kill him. Sometimes you just have to sit back and play that longer game. Well, these two Vikings gonna hurt the Broodlords quite a bit here, but they will get fungled and taken out. You know, This is looking just so good for MVP. When he finally moves across with Yamato Cannon, with a bunch of battle cruisers, with a ton of Ravens and Vikings with them, how do you kill that with what sLivko actually has here? He's got, 5 Broods, 11 Corruptors, and 12 Infestors. A lot of it's going to be on those Infestors.
I feel like what we're seeing here is actually going to be very similar to what happened in the which game was it that MVP did this in previously? Or was it MVP?
I think he maybe thought of Cass or something.
Yeah, Cass, excuse me, that epic game.
Yeah.
But yeah, you throw down all these infested Terrans, and then you just, the Terran's like, no, and just runs away. All right, so he's sacking SCVs. This is not a mistake here. He wants to free up more supply so he can make more attacking units like battle cruisers, for instance.
Yeah, and when they send their workers like that, that's what they're trying to do. And I always have this fantasy of like building a bunch of pylons around them or something so they can't die. It's just wasted supply.
All right, here we go. Vikings are out. That is 15 Vikings to the 18 Corruptors. Wow, so nice fan here. He does not want to get, bungled here and lose.
Well, it's time, Tasos. The battle cruisers are coming with the Ravens. Can sLivko hold on? He's getting Neural Parasite, which is definitely something that can help. But I don't know if he's going to be able to get enough off to make the difference.
And now hitting these Ultras. Oh, man, this is going to be so hard here for sLivko to deal with. He's sending one Ultra over here. There's already planetaries here. What are you going to do?
Nothing at all.
Nothing. You can't do anything to stop this. Now I'm sending an orbital over here. Now note how he's got everything spread out. He's very afraid of fungals. Got to be very careful.
It's about the only way he could lose this at this point. If he pumped up all his air units and there was like the sickest chain fungals of all time.
Note how careful MVP is being. He's actually just making sure this base is safe and secure. He can land all the mules down there to just mine it up. Meanwhile, I sent the small group of Marines to force a cancel.
Very slowly but very surely, MVP is making his way across this map. sLivko making a bunch of spores. Very smart. We saw that done the other day as well.
All right, so we got a lot of Ravens. This is like supreme and late game here. He's going to make more. He's actually going to push this guy with planetaries. Look at this, guys.
Oh, God. This is, I mean, why not be safe like that, right?
I know, right?
You feel like there's no way to lose, take the center of the map and do this.
And then what he does is he just sacks the rest of his SCVs so he can make even more battle cruisers.
Yeah. He's got a big bank, whereas sLivko very low.
My God. All right, so he has 28 Corruptors, 15 Infestors.
And he's actually neural parasiting a bunch of SCVs here.
Is he going to like try to juggle neural parasite these over?
No, I mean, wouldn't that be funny?
Wouldn't that be cool? Oh my God, is he going to make a command center?
You have to do something like,
SCV.
You have to do this over and over, like 7 times or something.
Well, I guess theoretically he could do that. This will be the first time
he's got to get his attacking units away from that, man.
Yeah.
This is the first time ever in a pro game that this is being attempted, I think.
It's just going to happen 2 crazy games like this in a day.
I can't even believe this. He's sending his battle cruisers over, though. He doesn't want him to get battle
He's going to Yamato that poor SCV.
Wouldn't that be so amazing if we ended this with BC versus BC?
Oh, my God. We're so close, guys.
Oh, my God, indeed.
Somebody tell MVP not to attack.
Yeah.
All right. He scans. Let me check the vision. Did you see it?
Oh, my God.
All right.
MVP is going to lose his mind, man. What is going on here? This is so much energy off these infestors.
Well, I think right now sLivko's sort of at a loss. He's thinking, what do I do?
Yeah. I mean, you know what? Nukes could be good here. Ghosts could be good. Stuff like that, if he can tech up to there. By the way, we do have a Nidus in construction, not just a command center for the Zerg player. There's so many people at home right now going crazy. Nidus, we're a man of command center.
Guess what it is?
So close to being finished. Please finish that command center. Please finish that command center.
It's so close.
MVP should let this finish. Please.
Yes! Yeah.
Totally sick.
All right. First time ever in a pro game. First time ever. Yeah. Get on Twitter. Tweet about it. Hashtag IEM.
Guys, I'm going to scare everyone. Sit in your seats. Sit down if you're standing up. Zerg is about to have mules.
Oh, my God. What? Yep, Zerg's going to have mules.
Yeah.
All right, so we see him slowly but surely pushing in here. Talk about a very, he's being very patient in this game. Meanwhile, sLivko's going to try to take this island because nobody ever pays attention to these islands on this map.
That is so true, and that's something that needs to be done. All right, so we're going to actually see Seeker missiles like crush a dream, I think, Tasteless. That's how I see this one ending. It's trying to split up his
here
corruptors.
We go.
And here we go indeed. Seeker missiles, everything is going to explode.
This is insane. So much death and destruction everywhere. And it looks like that might be it. As there is just too much tearing everything.
Yeah,
so many corruptors, normally strong against Vikings, but not in this case. Now he's going to back up. He just doesn't want to deal with these infested Terrans.
Yeah, he's got to be careful with this still. This is an expensive army. If he were to lose this, there would be a chance to lose the game.
All right, so he is actually building a Terran army here. And, yeah, I mean, he's just trying to avoid the infestors at all costs. How much energy do these infestors have? Usually they burn it all out when they have the mass infested Terran.
Yeah, he is out of energy there. He is making 16 corruptors, though, and there's no Ravens left. So the Seeker missiles are done for now. And in fact, you know, MVP doesn't have a lot of minerals anymore either. So here we go. The corruptors are coming in once again, but there's a lot of Vikings here at the side. Oh my God! What? Oh, that was a Yamoto. I thought it was a Seeker missile.
I was like, that Seeker missile was a dud. Well, he's chasing him back out. This game's going to go on, guys.
Yeah, I mean, 5 more BCs being made, Marines as well, and if sLivko continues to utilize corruptors and fungals very well, maybe could he do it? Could he come back?
I don't know, man. I'm getting heart palpitations because we're about to see an orbital be made here, which actually means, okay, hold on.
The BCs are coming back, though, and here come Marines with them. The Marines going to do very, very well. And, oh, man, I think sLivko just doesn't have anything left.
I think this is it. I think he's gonna lawn mow through this base.
The Marines could actually kill sLivko right now because he only has anti-air.
What a weird game.
He needs to make a planetary right away, Tasteless.
All right, I believe we're going to see GG here.
Oh, and he just Yamoto'd down that orbital that was morphing. We almost had a Zerg with mules. For sure he would have won.
For sure, man. Mules are just too good. Some more infested Terrans coming down here. The battlecruiser's just doing too much damage. And,
oh, he's knocking off battlecruisers left and right here, but the Marines are going to be too many. sLivko is, but he's still got a lot of money. He should be making Zerglings.
Yeah, he really should. Well, I feel like this is one of those games where your brain fries.
Yeah, I think his brain is fried at this point.
He's actually just got a command center. He's like, what do I do now? I'm gonna split map game with MVP.
You know, if these Marines weren't just slaughtering off his corruptors, he might have been able to do it. But GG!
GG, and good luck.
MVP moves on. The only Terran left in this tournament.
MVP playing brilliantly. Actually, both players playing brilliantly. I am so impressed. You can see the smile on his face. What a series and what a final game.
Oh, my God.
Damn.
Just all the games today. Intel Extreme Masters Cologne 2012 has so many amazing games. I can't even believe it. The most epic TVZs ever.
Yeah, the best TVZs I've ever had the chance to cast. Wow, so MVP is going to move on. If you're a fan of MVP, you're going to be happy to know that much. Of course, Vortex still in this tournament. It's so good.
And so is Nurchio. Don't forget that.
Don't forget that
and
either.
Violet. So, I mean, 3 Zergs, 2 Koreans.
It's going to be awesome. We're going to go ahead and throw to the, excuse me. We're going to go ahead and talk about that game for a second. Wow.
Okay, your pick to take this, to take the tournament. Your pick now. We have top bracket is Nurchio versus Violet.
Vortex.
You're just going with Vortex no matter what?
Yeah. What about you?
I don't know. I feel like the ZVZ of Violet is too good. Like, I love Violet's ZVZ personally.
That is true. You know,
I think, in fact, he doesn't even rate his ZVZ highly, but every time I see him ZVZ, I'm like, oh, you're so cool.
That is a good point. All right, we're going to go and throw to an interview with Jared. Take it away, my brother.
LG IEM MVP. was very well played, as everyone always expects of you. What did you think in the final game when you saw that he was building a command center?
어떤 생각했는지 SC2 가져가서 커맨서를 칠 때 무슨 생각했는지. 그냥 재밌었고요. 저는 거의 승리했다고 생각했었기 때문에 그때 그래가지고 그냥 일부러 안 죽였어요. Well, he think it was fun, and he actually know already that he won, so that's why he didn't kill it. Didn't kill him earlier.
Awesome. The casters were actually begging for you to let it live so that we could see it. So thank you for letting it live. You're now the last Terran in the tournament, and the hope of all non-Zerg players in the world. So thank you for that too. You're going to face Vortex in the semifinals, who's taken out some really big names and shown some really great play. Are you familiar with his play, and what do you think about him as an opponent?
어떻게 생각하는지 그리고 게임 스타일 알고 있는지. 게임 스타일은 잘 모르고 제 영진이를 굉장히 인정하는 테란이거든요. 근데 영진이가 졌기 때문에 굉장히 잘하시는 분 같고 그래도 힘들지만 열심히 하면 이길 수 있을 거라고 생각해요. Well, he's not familiar with his playstyle, but he beats Supernova and he thinks really high of Supernova. So he thinks it's going to be really tough, but he thinks he's still chances to beat him.
And do you have a message for your billions of fans in the universe?
팬분한테 말할 거 있는지. 제가 건강이 되게 안 좋아서 경기력도 많이 줄고 게임도 잘 못하는데 응원해 주셔서 너무 감사드리고요. 나중에 치료 다 해서 또 완치되면 와가지고 독일에서 또 게임 하고 싶다고. Well, actually, his health condition isn't that well lately, so that's one of the reasons why he's not performing that well and dropping out of a lot of tournaments. And he's really thankful for the fans who are still supporting him, and he will keep trying his best and to get back in shape.
Last time you won, your fanboy gave you some chocolates. By Polish rite, that means you're married. What do you think of that?
지금 그때 타슨가 너한테 초콜릿 줬잖아. 그럼 폴란드에서는 누가 다른 사람한테 초콜릿 주면 결혼했다는 뜻인데 너 그거 어떻게 생각하는지? 일단 초콜릿은 굉장히 맛있게 잘 먹었고요. 저는 여자친구가 있기 때문에. 네. Well, first of all, the chocolate was really delicious. 굉장히 맛있어. 하나 더 주면. And he wants one more if you have one. And he has a girlfriend, so he's sorry.
Very well played today. Thank you for showing very good games. Good luck tomorrow. And that is the end of the Intel Extreme Masters Gamescom Day 4. Please come back tomorrow for the semifinals and the finals as we see who is the winner here in Cologne. See you then.